Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of Mission Matters. My name is Adam Torres, and if you'd like to apply to be a guest in the show, just head on over to missionmatters.com and click on Be Our Guest to apply. All right, so today's guest is Bradley Moore, and he's the CEO over at Global Compliance Applications Corp., also known as GCAC. Brad, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, Adam. How are you today?
Oh, man, I'm having all kinds of fun recording the podcast. The Dodgers won the World Series last night, so when we're recording this, by the way, we're recording this on Halloween, so that was loud and kept me up all night, man. I'm downtown in the middle of it all, so that was something else.
That's awesome. Congrats on that. Good stuff.
So, Brad, baseball aside, let's dive into this interview. So the Global Compliance Applications Corp., I mean, just to get us kicked off here, maybe tell us a little bit more about the organization and really what you do.
Yeah, for sure. So we are a Canadian-based, Vancouver, Canada-based company. Our focus and what we actually, our core kind of primary tool that we do is we run and operate a layer 2 Ethereum blockchain. And we are one of the few companies in the world that actually run that for a real life use case, right? It's not about Bitcoin. It's not about trading Ethereum. It's actually about using blockchain to help create a data set to determine efficacy for medical cannabis. So, as my buddy in the Special Forces says, even shampoo's got instructions. So we got to try to figure that out for cannabis. And believe it or not, we're the only company in the world that actually has an approved patent application for using blockchain advanced technology to determine efficacy for medical cannabis.
How did you get involved with this? Like, where did all this begin for you? I know as either entrepreneurs or executives, we all have ideas and we're all drawn to different things. Like, how'd this pull you in?
Yeah, well, now we're going back a lot of years, man. I couldn't believe it when I looked at this year, how many years I've been doing this now. Well, it really kind of got going in 2017 or 2018, and I had investments in cannabis in Canada, right? And, everybody was like, it's medical this, it's medical that, but it wasn't, right? It wasn't legal in Canada at that time. And it was kind of, you'd walk by a place and it'd have one of like those Red Cross signs, but it'd be green neon flashing, right? And it, you'd walk in there and some old stoner behind the desk would tell you what you should take because it's what he used. And if you weren't a cannabis person, you might end up on the floor doing the chicken. And I just said, this isn't right. And so at that time, I was running this publicly traded company, and I just said, we got to try to solve this. And I was fortunate enough to hook up with some people in the Canadian space and United States, and more importantly, in Israel. And, the Israeli cannabis market goes way back, further than the Canadian program does. And, like many things in Israel, it's very science-driven, right? And so I got a chance to go over there and do some research, and somebody said, I was like, okay, so how do we take those processes that they're doing over there, like from a federal government point of view, and commercialize that and make it like scalable? And somebody used the word blockchain, and I went, what? I said, I don't trade Bitcoin. He said, no. And they explained it to me. It's kind of a funny story. I spent like 4 months in Israel, and some guy in broken English, with a heavy Hebrew accent, explained he's a blockchain developer, explaining it to me. And then one day the light went on. I said, oh my gosh, that's how it works, right? And then I started to see a path forward. And, really all we do is we look at basic functionality of growing, cultivation steps, all the way through transportation. Because you're dealing with the plant, this stuff is important. And then we use blockchain to attach a feedback. So you can actually look at 1 gram growing, 1 gram consumed. And that's how you get that data stack. And then over time, you get enough of it and you start to average things out. And you have to do it that way because it's a plant, right? And all plants, they're not equal and they change, and how you store them and how you manage them, let alone the seed. And so that simplicity allowed us to kind of start down this path. And that's how we got started.
And so where does the project stand today? Like you mentioned, it's a number of years ago. It's like, where are you at today with the project?
Yeah, so we do have a fully operating layer 2 Ethereum blockchain. We work in that with our primary partner and investor, Abbey Technologies, out of Switzerland. And what we do is we have created blockchain is something you don't see. It's under the hood. So we have a DApp, and that's a decentralized app. And basically that app is something that whether you're a business or a consumer, you download it. And then what we do is, depending who you are, we give you access to different roles. And so if you're a business, you can create that product story, and then it allows you to basically put it on the blockchain, which renders out on a website, and it's represented by a QR code. So somebody walks into a dispensary with their camera, they can scan it and see a truthful attestation. And so a lot of people said, well, why the blockchain? Why do you need that for the blockchain for that? And I go, because it can never come down. And every attestation that goes up is up there forever. And there's a wonderful thing that happens when you create that kind of connectivity all the way through what seed you use to a lab report, all the way through to a consumer feedback. Like I said, it's 1 gram grown, 1 gram consumed. And that's how you get into using to determine if something's efficacious or not. For the consumer side, what we did initially in Canada is we built a feedback mechanism. We started that off. And when we expanded in the United States, because of the rules down there, it's not legally federal, we built coupons onto the consumer part. And because it's on the blockchain, guess what we did? And guess what the coupons are? They're an NFT. So we basically just transfer an NFT. And what's really neat, that just becomes part of the guy who grew the cannabis. He can make this coupon. He can give it to a consumer. The consumer can redeem it in the store, and everybody's connected. And there's so many benefits from it, Adam. I don't even really know where to start, but it's for a business, it's really hard to get people to sign up for things, right? When you come in. Well, when you download this app as a consumer, what you actually do is we never ask for your name. We never ask for Adam Torres' name or his email address. It's cool, right? And so what we do is we put an Ethereum wallet in your phone, and it just allows you to get these coupons. You see it, you scan it, you accept it, and when you're ready to buy something, you walk into the store and you show it just like a normal coupon, and you send it to the guy who runs the store. And what happens is now you're connected to him 100% of the time, the very first time. And so there's no sign-ups, there's no intrusion in your life. And then every time you feed back, it allows the business to get better, allows the store owner to see what's selling, and it allows the guy making the cannabis to understand what's working and why isn't, And maybe there's a better way to do things than they are. And so, this is fully running. I'm a Canadian veteran, and in cannabis, Canadian veterans can get, not necessarily will get, but can get up to 3 grams a day from the Veterans Affairs for treatment of PTSD and injuries and from their service. In the United States, they don't have that. But we do know that our American brothers and sisters are paying out of pocket. It's actually estimated that up to 25% of the 16 million American veterans are using cannabis in lieu of opioids. And so that's a lot of people, right? And they're paying out of pocket. And if you're on a disability pension, things are expensive. And everybody offers a veterans discount. It's just not obvious, right? So we started off working in the veteran space. And so we've made an app dedicated to Canadian military veterans getting the best possible product that is truthful because, once again, you tell that product story on the blockchain, it's never coming down, And so it's about affordable, truthful product. And here's the cool part. When somebody gives a feedback, if Brad Moore, the veteran, gives a feedback, it doesn't say Brad Moore's name. It's anonymous. So I'm helping my brothers and sisters, and we call that the Citizen Green Project. Citizen, civilian, green is army, put them together, you got a veteran, right? And so we've taken that, we've launched it across North America, and we're getting good traction. We have some key accounts like Oasis Dispensary in Las Vegas. And now, like you and I were just talking about, we started our own streaming channel, and, for Veterans Health and Wellness, it's available on Roku and Apple TV and Google TV apps. And what we're doing with that is we go to dispensaries to say, we know we're giving you a discount. So give us your coupon business. You're offering it anyways. We've got a channel over here that veterans are watching, and we'll let you run ads on theirs. And basically you just put our coupons as part of your ad. So it's this very kind of You know what I mean? It's like this very vertical integrated marketing system that we have that's about veterans' health and wellness. And of course, you talk to my wife and she could probably use some cannabis and gummies too, having to live with me as a veteran. And so, it's one of those things, I think. It's whether or not you agree with cannabis or not. We don't agree with stoner cannabis, right? That's not our jam. We agree, if you understand how cannabis works, we agree that there's a path forward on it. We don't agree people should self-medicate. We agree it should be science-driven and data-driven. And that's what our whole objective is.
And I think you answered my question, but I want to go maybe a layer deeper.
Yeah.
So there's the B2C component, which is for the right now veterans and others to be able to use the app. And is there a cost for them to use the app, or there wasn't? I didn't catch that part. Okay.
Never.
So there's not. So it's free for them, and then the B2C component would be ultimately maybe dispensaries or other individuals that would want to, participate overall and offer their product, or there would be, advertising opportunities, as you mentioned. And that's kind of the profit model on the overall plan. Am I off on that? Just a piece of it, or?
No, you're 100% right. So on the B2C, like I said, dispensaries, everybody in the United States is one thing you guys do better in the United States than in Canada is you're more aware of your veterans. And I think, look, there's 600,000 veterans in Canada and there's 16 million in the United States, right? Just do the math on it. It's 20 times bigger type of deal. And so, or more than that. And so we believe that all veterans should, and this is my own personal belief. Like I'm a, Cold War Bosnia guy, but it's what I believe is this is, the further we get away from the global war on terror, it becomes an afterthought. But at the end of the day, the veterans still got to live with a service, right? And, you just have to look back, and I know work with a lot of guys from the Vietnam era, and even Canadians coming out of Bosnia. It's like close to 100,000 Canadians served in Bosnia in a war zone over there. Some of the worst atrocities since World War II. And up here, it's kind of like, oh, you're just handing out food. And it wasn't like that at all, right? And so we believe we can't, just because civilians want to move on with their lives, veterans don't. It's part of who they are. And I think that, one thing the United States does better, the American businesses in general do better is they take better care. But, the problem is a lot of veteran discounts are afterthoughts, right? They're buried in some web page. And all we're trying to do is make a dedicated service, right? And we believe that's a good business model, right? If you look at 4 million people on average, and they're spending in excess of between $200 to $400 a month on some on a disability, they deserve a 25% discount at least. And so what we do is we say, and I think you'll appreciate it, we say, okay, put our software in your store. The guy's going to walk in. You're gonna, as soon as he gives you that coupon, you're connected to him device to device. That's the blockchain part, Adam. That's the cool. And what we do is we get paid a commission on that, right? And we do charge money on the advertising, but we sell bundles of like advertising and the coupon together, so it's affordable. And I'll tell you this, it's a lot cheaper. We know dispensaries that, let's say, somebody comes and spends $15. Well, because of advertising rules in the United States, in state by state and federally, they always have to keep spending that $15, even if they know who you are to come in. Well, here's one of the cool things is you come in and I use that coupon in your business, and you're connecting now. Phone to phone, app to app, you're connected to me. You don't have to spend that $15 on me anymore. You can just do a push notification. Hey, Brad, how was it? Love to get your feedback. If you give feedback, there's another discount. That's great. So that's the cool thing with it. Think about end-to-end supply chain, and we're the data that connects. And that's why blockchain. This blockchain takes B2B and layers it and smooths it all the way through to B2C. And one piece of software, we actually did, for people that don't know a lot about blockchain, when you look at a cost-benefit analysis, we can actually remove 7 pieces of software from a business and implement it with a blockchain solution and a whole bunch of stuff that they're spending money on. Their cost basis goes, it's incredible how far down it goes. And so that's why blockchain, and that's what we built, and that's what we're selling. Yeah.
It's amazing. Well, Brad, this has been a lot of fun getting to know more about the GCAC, and I know I know there's a whole lot more that you're working on and to talk about. And for those, and especially you got your channel coming up or it's maybe already up. You mentioned on Roku. For the audience that's listening to this, how do people follow the brand? How do they get involved? How do they watch the content?
Yeah, for sure. If you want to watch the TV, come in, subscribe. It's a new channel. It's growing. Here's a shout out to all you content providers out there that are tired of getting shut down on YouTube. Don't start a Substack channel. Come over and post your content with us, and we'll do a revenue share with you. That's one way. Go to citizengreen.tv. If you're a business and you want to learn more about how to participate and help out veterans, please come on over and go to efixi.io, and that's EFIXII.io.
And what was the name of the Roku channel, by the way?
Oh, it's Citizen Green TV. Everything is Citizen Green TV.
Green TV. I just want to make sure we get that out there for everyone. That's all.
Yeah.
So Citizen Green TV, awesome. And for the audience, just so you know, we're going to definitely put all the links and all that other good stuff in the show notes so that you can just click on them and head right on over and check out Citizen Green TV and all the other content out there. So thank you for that. And also to the audience, if this is your first time with Mission Matters and you haven't done it yet, make sure that you hit that subscribe button, because this is a daily show. Each and every day we're bringing you new content, new ideas, and hopefully new inspiration to help you along the way on your journey as well. Brad, man, really appreciate you coming on, and thanks again for coming on the show.
I appreciate you too. Thank you so much for the opportunity.